If someone could take all of it away, the wound, the story, the thing that happened, and you could wake up tomorrow completely free of it, would you actually want that? Because for a lot of people, the honest answer is pretty complicated. And today I want to talk about why. We talk about healing like it's this thing we're all running towards. Everyone woke up and decided, yes, I want to be whole. I want to be free. Let's go. But healing isn't just gaining something. It's losing something too. It means losing the story, the explanation, the reason why things are the way they are. It means letting go of the version of yourself that was built around the wound and stepping into a version of yourself you've never actually lived as. And that can be terrifying. Terrifying because the pain has been with you long enough that it's started to feel like you. Here's the first thing I want you to understand. When pain stays long enough, it stops being something that happened to you and starts being something that defines you. Think about how you talk about it. I'm someone who struggles with trust, for example. I'm someone who never feels like I'm enough. I'm someone who has abandonment issues. You say it like it's just a fact, if it's a personality trait, but that's not a fact. It's a wound that got so familiar you gave it a name. And here's why that matters. Because when the wound becomes your identity, healing starts to feel like loss. Who are you without it? What's your story? What explains why you are the way you are? The ego doesn't just attach to good things, it attaches to pain too. Because pain is known, and the ego will always choose what's known over what's uncertain, even if what's known is hurting you. There's a moment in the Bible, John chapter 5, that I keep going back to. Jesus is at this pool, and around this pool there are sick people. Blind, paralyzed. They're waiting because there's a belief that when the water stirs, the first person in gets healed. And there's this one man. He's been sick for 38 years, I believe. Jesus walks up to him and he asks him something. He doesn't say, "Do you need healing?" He says, "Do you want to be healed?" Why would Jesus ask? He's God. He already knew what the man needed. But he asked what the man wanted. And the man's answer is interesting because he doesn't say yes. He says, "I have no one to help me into the pool. Someone always gets in before me." He talks about the obstacle. He describes why it hasn't happened yet. He gives a reason. And I'm obviously not criticizing him. I understand him. But I want you to notice, the question was, do you want to be healed? And the answer was about why it hasn't happened yet. Sometimes that's us. We're so familiar with the weight, with the wound, with the story of why healing hasn't come, that we've forgotten to actually want the healing itself. Let me tell you about what I call the ego's payoff system. Every wound you carry has a payoff. That sounds harsh, but stay with me, because this isn't about judgment, it's about being honest. The payoff might be sympathy. When you carry a wound, people are gentler with you. They make allowances. They don't push too hard. There's a kind of protection in being the one who's been through something. The payoff might be explanation. The wound becomes your reason why you struggle in relationships, why you haven't stepped into your calling, why things are hard. And that reason, even if it's painful, is more comfortable than not having a reason. Because no reason means it's just you, and that's way scarier. None of this makes you a bad person. It makes you human. But here's the truth. The ego doesn't heal you, God does. And the ego will protect the wound if the wound is serving it, even while you're praying to be free of it. So what are you actually protecting when you hold on to a wound? I think underneath all of it, you're protecting yourself from hope, because hope is the most vulnerable thing there is. If you stay wounded, you know what to expect. You know the terrain. You've built a life around it. But if you actually let yourself hope for something different, if you actually start to believe you could be free, you could be whole, you could experience something new, then you have something to lose. And the part of you that has been hurt before knows exactly what losing feels like. So it keeps you just wounded enough to stay safe. Not so broken you can't function, just wounded enough to not fully risk. That's the part I want to invite you to look at. Not to shame it, not to fight it, just to see it for what it is. Because you cannot heal something you're pretending isn't there. The thing you're afraid to lose by healing, that's the exact thing the healing is asking for. So what do you actually do with this? First, get honest. Not with anyone else. Get honest with yourself and God. Ask, what is this wound giving me? What would I have to face if it was gone? And you don't need to answer immediately. You might not know. Next, separate your wound from your identity. The wound is not who you are. We know this now. It's something that happened to you, or maybe it was something that was done to you or that you've been carrying. But it is not you. You were someone before it, and you get to be someone on the other side of it. Third, understand that wanting to heal and being afraid to heal can both be true at the same time. You don't have to resolve that tension before you start healing. You can take one step towards healing. You don't wait till you're fully ready. You move and let God meet you in the motion. Lastly, talk to God about the part that doesn't want to heal, not just the part that does, because He already sees it. He's the one who asked, do you want to be healed? He asks because He wants your yes, the real one, not the performative one. The bravest thing you might do this year isn't starting something new. It might be getting honest about why part of you has been holding on. Healing is not a betrayal of what you went through. It's not erasing it. It's not pretending it didn't matter. You can honor the weight of what happened and still choose to not let it be the thing that defines the rest of your life. You are not your wound. You're the person God is calling through it. And that version of you, the one that exists on the other side of this, they've been waiting. The only question is the one Jesus already asked. Do you want to be healed? And I hope your answer is yes, even if part of you is still deciding. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll catch you on the next video.